another episode of the Women of Ouija.
I'm Karen Dahlman.
I'm Marla Martinson. Good to see you guys again. Thanks for tuning in. So we have a viewer question. This one's interesting because I've heard this a lot. So somebody asked, what if you are on one board with somebody and you ask a certain question and they answer it a certain way, and then you are on another board, maybe alone or with somebody else, and you get a completely different answer for the same question.
Right.
So are they both right, wrong? What's going on here? What should you just throw it all out and say, I don't know what's going on, or believe one, or just take it with a grain of salt? I don't know. Karen will know better than me.
Well, okay. So there's something I always tell people, but I get this question a lot too. Asked, I would say probably, every month, at least 2 or 3 times. And I wrote an article about this for that reason. And it's called Trust in the Accuracy of the Messages. Are the messages truly accurate every time you use the board? Now, what I would say is, as I tell people, I wouldn't just jump in and believe anything you get on the board, especially when you're new at using it. And new, okay, I'm not going to necessarily quantify what new is, because I've seen it with some people who might take 10 years and still not get really good messages, where others can do it a year or two and get really outstanding messages. And how do you know they're good messages? Because over a period of time, you start to see how things are coming forth, or things are helping you to be the best you can be. What I find with the spirit guides, and I'm not talking about the deceased people, I'll talk about them in a moment, but the spirit guides, who could be, the angels, the guardians, the ethereal beings, they will tend to give you messages and not necessarily answers, definitive answers, because they know there's the whole time-space continuum that we have here, and they don't have a sense of that. So they can give you an answer, and it could be happening on a parallel reality or a parallel universe, and that answer could have happened there. And so what they tell me is, predictions is not for them. They're not soothsayers. They're not fortune tellers. Yeah. But what they can do is read vibration. So your true spirit guides will read vibration. Instead of giving you a definitive answer, they might help you empower yourself to create that within your life, whatever it is you want. So they may help you, propel you, and give you inspiration to go towards that, what is your desire in your life, as opposed to saying, for example, am I going to get that new job that I'm interviewing for next week? And they might not say no or yes. They may say, what are you thinking about that new job? How does it resonate for you? Do you want this job? And they may take you through a whole series of questions, and that's what I find. And people that write to me tell me, too, they get questions. It's helping you refine it so you can create it and become empowered doing that. So let's say you get some answers. Okay, here's one. I get people write to me and they say, well, I spoke to my angel or a guide or my grandmother who's deceased, and she said this is going to happen in my life. Do I believe it? I would always say, how long have you been using the board? Have you been writing your questions down in your messages? I think that's really critical, everybody, because you'll have no track record to look at if you don't write things down. So I record what I'm saying, I write. And then I also have that recorded too. So I can go back over the years and I can see what has happened, what they've said, and the consistency of it. It's learning the consistency of the message that will help prove to your accuracy, and it happens over time. So let's say you got some information from your deceased grandmother or deceased loved one, and they say, oh, yes, dear, you're going to get that job that you're interviewing for next week. Now, maybe you get it, maybe you don't. It's 50-50. But if they say, yes, you're going to get it, and then you don't get it, you go, why would grandma lie to me? Well, it's not that, again, grandma's maybe lying to you. It's the fact, just because you are on the other side of the veil doesn't mean you're all-knowing, all-aware. Doesn't mean that you understand everything that's going on everywhere. And some of the beings are like that. They don't understand everything that's going on everywhere. In fact, most of them are that way. You're not necessarily talking to source. And when you start working with higher vibrations, you've really got to be managing yourself with these higher vibrations to reach that. So most of us are going to be talking to some of the vibrations that are like an angelic realm, the guardians, and the deceased loved ones who have our best interest at heart. And they're going to want the best for you, but it may be what they're wishing for instead of what the accuracy is. Yeah. So ask your questions. You want to do past life readings. You want to ask what's going on with your job. You want to ask these questions. Ask them, but don't get too excited about them if you're not writing them down. And don't get too excited about them in the first month, 2, 3 months, 4 months, even maybe some years, until you see this consistency because you go back through your messages. Then you can start looking at, oh, this one guide over here, my guardian angel, oh, she's told me things that really make sense, and here's the proof here. Then you start going back and looking at it that way, so you have a track record. So I really ask you, number one, in order to get to the bottom of this accuracy of the messages, is always write down your questions and your answers so you can have a record of it. Two, take a lot of time with this. You meet somebody new in your life, a living person, you take time to get to know them. And sometimes if you don't, you get burned. Sometimes things happen. You want to learn to trust somebody, so you take time with that. That's number two. Three is go back and look at the messages over a time. Maybe it's only 3 months to start with. Maybe it's over a year. And you're going to see. I wouldn't say, if they say, hey, quit your current job, sell your house and move, I wouldn't do it board. If I got that message from a board, no. I wouldn't do any of that. You got to be sensible about this. There are tricksters, pranksters, lower vibrations that love to play around on the other side. And there's also very beautiful, loving beings that will help you. But know, for the most part, those loving beings that are here to help you are not going to give you that specific answer. They're going to help you find it within. That's been my experience all these 43 years of using this tool.
Great point. Yeah, the same with me. They are not an oracle. They are not, you don't do just what they say. Mostly when my angel comes through, it's just like they want me to know that they love me. There's
right.
many angels around, that they're supporting me. If I'm tired, they'll say, get some rest, or they'll say, you're doing great, or that TV interview was wonderful, or big things are coming up, they say, but they don't say exactly what. They say good things are coming, or
right.
Just really great, kind of like you have a cheerleader. So that's kind of great. Yeah,
that's funny you say that. Mine said, see us as a net. When you're walking on a tightrope or you think you might fall, we're a net to catch you. We are your cheerleaders. You are the football team out there playing. You're the coach. You're all the people in the stands watching. You're all of that. We are just your cheerleaders.
Right.
I love that you said that.
Yeah,
that's what they told me.
That's really nice. All right, wonderful. Well, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and leave comments below. We want to hear your experiences and what you think, and we love you. Thanks for watching, and happy boarding.
Bye, guys.